Welcome, everybody, to Independent Comics Showcase. This is the show where we put the spotlight on independent comics. They could be newcomers or they could be established pros, like my old pal Billy Tucci here, whose trailer we just watched for Senryaku. Did I say that right?
Senriaku
Omnibus. Now, that was a cool trailer, my brother.
Thank you. Yeah, Niall Scala put together that trailer. And it's our newest campaign. It's a weekend, and we're almost at $60,000. And just thank you everyone who came out to back. We're almost at 500 backers. Tremendous campaign. And Graham, when we put together these thicker books, this is a 240-page book. The higher volume books, they're not cheap.
Mm-hmm.
But the cool thing is that this book is offered to our Indiegogo backers for $60, but it looks like the retail is going to be $100.
Yeah,
the 240-page oversized hardcover edition.
Which is why I always encourage people to support the campaign. You're going to get the best deal by supporting the campaign than you will if you go on the website later on and buy the stuff. And it's true for all of these. Plus, you're also helping to make it happen. It's your support that makes these things possible. Mm-hmm. And so, Billy, you've been doing Sheaf since the 1990s and stuff. Give us the elevator pitch on this particular story.
Okay, so what this book is? This book is Senryaku is basically it's 36 individual short stories illustrated by some of the biggest talents who ever be in comics. It's individual stories that pertain to Anna Ishikawa's life and their life lessons as taught to her by her grandfather. So there's a lot of cool things. So you'll have Hide a Sword with a Smile is one sort of a stratagem story, and that was illustrated by Jeff Smith of Bone fame. But we tell the story through history of how someone did sort of thing, and like if it was a woman assassin or a woman queen that she was able to take over, a kingdom or something like that. And it's a real fun history lesson, and we've got incredible artists doing things, like we've got, George Perez and Jim Lee and Mark Silvestri, Adam Hughes. Dan Jurgens just really pulled out all the big guns and all the people that I was really friends with at the time and whom I admired, Frank Frazetta, of course, and asked them if they would like to illustrate a stratagem. And they all pretty much said they would. Even Del Keown said he would. But of course, I'm still waiting for a Del Keown piece. So everyone's bitching. You had John Malin bitching that he's or complaining or not really, just everyone doing that. Jumping on that. That Dale's owed him a piece for 2 years. Well, I've been waiting over 30 years for a Del Keown piece. So, and even
were these stories printed before?
Yes, it was. Yeah, it was printed in here. So here's our soft cover edition with the Frank Frazetta cover.
Right.
And the way the book was printed is, if you look at, let's see, let me grab some. Oh, I'll do Dan Jurgens, right? So here's Dan Jurgens' contribution.
Mm-hmm.
And here's a short story. So Dan's is offer a brick in exchange for a jade. And it's basically, I had the artist go for it. You know, how would they do that? So you can see, obviously, somebody, you know, she rused this samurai into thinking that there's a sword here until he realizes it's much too late. It's actually just a wooden sword. And here she comes with the real one.
Mm-hmm.
What we're doing with the new book, though, is that we have Dan Jurgens' original black and white art, you know, a full color scan of his original black and white art, and then the color scan without all of this inhibiting caption boxes.
Okay.
So how the book will be is that the Dan Jurgens section will literally open up with Gary Cohn's text right here of the short story. Then you'll have a Dan Jurgens his bio with a piece of art that no one's ever seen before. And then you'll turn the page and you'll have Dan Jurgens' black and white art without any type over it. And then you turn the page again and then the full color. So it's true. It's really more than an omnibus. It's like an artist. It's like an artist edition omnibus.
Yeah, you're getting to see the process.
Yes, and
really
a lot of them we have roughs, like with Joe Jusko's piece. Joe Jusko saved the rough to it, so you'll see Joe's rough on like vellum paper.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, and then you go to, of course, his finished painting. Ray Lago, if you guys are familiar with, I mean, what a virtuoso with illustrator he is. That Ray Lago did a piece, and we even have Ray's pencil, real rough, you know, small, and then he did a wash, a black and white wash, and then he went to full paints. So Ray will have that extended edition, extended version, or more in depth, if you will. Same thing like Jim Lee. You'll have a Jim Lee sketch, she sketch that he's done, the full sketch of it. So it's pretty cool, man. Mark Silvestri, Mark Silvestri, we did a poster, which was of he did. Mm-hmm. And it was put in full color, but you're going to see Mark's actual pencils and inks of the original poster that no one's ever seen before. It's never seen print before. So I'd have to say, if you look at it, man, I'd have to say 90% of this book is art that is never seen before, or it's never been seen before in its full glorious context.
Outstanding.
And we've gotten tremendous reviews for it. I think, and I got to look back, but I think we were nominated for an Eisner for Best Collected Edition in the 90s too for it. Something I should really do my homework on, because I did my homework on that Star Trek.
Yeah, I know, you bastard.
I know, and I kind of felt bad, but then because you're like, so
you didn't feel bad enough that night.
Yeah, for those who know that on the Professionals, Aaron Lopresti had a trivia night, and it was sci-fi trivia. So knowing that most of them were really easy, but the Star Trek ones, and knowing that he's a Trekkie like you, I'm like, well, I got to research Star Wars, and I just Googled like Star Trek trivia, and one of them that came up was how many films were there, theatrical releases of Star Trek. I would have known that.
Yeah.
And I'm like, oh, and I remember reading like, oh, that's 13.
Meanwhile, I'm doing the math. I'm like, okay, there's I forgot.
Yeah.
Like we came up with the same answer.
Yeah.
But he was ahead in points. So
yeah. I was ahead by 1 point, I think, because I stole Fraga's. Fraga couldn't get anything, so I stole his.
Yeah.
But yeah, so I mean, you really know far more than I do about sci-fi stuff, especially Star Trek. But I studied. So kids,
you studied.
There's a lesson out there to study.
That's right. He didn't do it in school, people, but he does it for the.
No, trivia. That's true. Oh yeah, I totally didn't. I was a consummate underachiever in school.
So why don't we go through the campaign here, and you can tell folks about what's being offered and your thoughts about it.
Yep.
So we got 240 pages, full color,
oversized hardcover. So we enlarged it. Thank you all out there, Indiegogo. You guys had pushed us past the $50,000 mark. So now the book will be if I can grab this. Yeah. So it will be roughly the same size as this one. So here's your standard, trade paperback size.
Mm-hmm.
And then here is the omnibus size. So it'll be the same format size as this. Our
Right.
next stretch goal, I guess, will be the Frank Frazetta, because Frank Frazetta did a cover for us, the Frank Frazetta dust jacket. So what we do here, just like we did with the last one, was that it's exclusive only to our crowdfunded backers, is that you get, not only do you get the hard cut, the book, but you will get a dust jacket. In Senryaku's case, would be the Frank Frazetta cover dust jacket, and then the book, the sewn in satin bookmark.
Nice.
Ribbon. So, and that's only for this campaign. And again, and at the reduced price of $60.
Can't beat it.
What more could anyone ask?
Well, I don't know. Somebody may, but let's tell them what else they can get, because yeah, you should back the book for sure. Over here, we've got the IGG exclusive Omni bundle. What's in that, Billy?
Well, let me. I'm going to open a page up so I can see it and follow you, if that's okay. If you give me one second. Let me go to the campaign. Oh, that's our featured perk. Okay, so the Omni bundle. So what's cool about that is the Omni bundle. Again, this book is on the Indiegogo campaign right now for $60 US. It's going to be a $100 book, but you'll get the companion Indiegogo exclusive gold foil print, 11x17. Plus, you'll get the She Gatecrasher Ashcan edition. And now, She Gatecrasher is our next crowdfunded book being released in August. It's the next original graphic novel. It's by me and J.C. Vaughn, and you'll get the Ashcan for it, which I'm drawing now, actually.
Okay.
And so that's it. That's our peak. That's our featured perk. And again, I mean, you're getting a ton of stuff, because even the print is up there because it's exclusive, and then the Ashcan is like $20 too. So you're getting a nice combo there with that. That's probably the best value, I think.
Right. Well, the featured perks usually are. That's the deal.
Yep.
And you got 100 of them claimed already. That's great.
Oh, great. Thank you. Yep. And then we had the digital She Omnibus again. And you know how this goes. A lot of overseas people, so much problems, it seems, lately with shipping stuff overseas, the expense. And again, when you have a book that weighs 3 pounds, it's going to get, and that's how much it's going to weigh, is that you're going to, you can incur some pretty high overseas charges. And we don't make anything off of that, off of the shipping. Technically we lose money off of it, because we have to buy all the packing stuff and all.
Oh, yeah. Definitely.
So, but we want to get the books in the hands of our customers. But if they can't, afford it, that the customs expenses and the overseas shipping, they can get their hands on the digital omnibus edition.
Yeah, some of the countries like England have VAT taxes on it too.
Yeah,
we're
working.
Niles
Gala and I are actually working on a crowdfunding platform, which is very user friendly, very creator friendly, and fan friendly. And that's one of the issues that we're tackling, which we've seen. We're in talks with people right now who do worldwide distribution, to bring them for them to actually help assist, or in many cases take over the overseas shipping. But that's a story for another day, Mike.
It is indeed. Yeah. Okay, we got a collector's pin here. Nice.
Yeah, the pins are fun. No one's claimed a pin. A lot of people that get the pins the pin seems to be really big on add-ons.
Right. I mean, you might have pins claimed, but they're add-ons, so they don't show up here. Yeah,
it's a beautiful enamel pin with the She Senryaku, with the cover, with this cover.
Yep.
And again, a lot of people get add-ons. Then we have the challenge coin, or our silver challenge coin for the 25th anniversary of She Senryaku.
Did you do the artwork for the pin?
Yeah, that the artwork for the pin is my cover.
Okay.
It's that image in metal.
Yeah, what was that Playboy artist?
Patrick Nagel. That's what
Nagel. That's what it looks like. Yeah. You're going for that, right?
Oh yeah, totally. Because you got to think is when I developed She in 1990, I was really I got into Nagel like in 84, 85, and then I almost had like a Nagel oh, what is it? A renaissance for myself.
Mhm.
You know, I'm like, wow, how cool would this look? I love the stark colors, and it was very woodblock. The colors are very. He was really heavily inspired by Japanese woodblock prints with his color palette. So I'm like, that would look cool with she. And
Yeah.
people loved it because no one's seen anything Patrick Nagel. You know what I mean? When this book came out in 95, you know, he was kind of passe in a
Mm.
way. There wasn't that 80s nostalgia in the mid 90s.
Yeah.
And people like, wow, Patrick Nagel. You know, I loved Nagel when I was a kid, or the Rio cover and stuff like that. So that was kind of fun to throw that to do that Nagel. And again, he
Yeah,
was a
yeah.
huge influence on me.
Yeah, it looks great. You can
Yep.
tell.
Then of course we're offering the Ashcan bundle, the Gatecrasher Ashcan bundle, which includes the Ashcan, the Gatecrasher limited edition Ashcan, and then an 11 by 17 print. And it's only $35. It's normally $45 for that because the print's
Okay.
at 25, and then the Ashcan is, I think the Ashcan's $20, I think. So then we have this beautiful metallic print, huge. It's the IG. Oh no, that's the IGG exclusive. I apologize. That's the IGG exclusive. Um, Gold
Metallic
foil
print.
print.
Yeah, it says metallic print.
Yeah, it's metallic print, but we call it a gold foil because you're gonna have a nice gold foil around it.
Okay.
And that's exclusive to the Indiegogo backers. Debbie made a T-shirt, which is another big add-on thing. A lot of people get the T-shirts. It's an all-over printed T-shirt with the number 2 cover, which is the actual cover to Senryaku, the wraparound. I think it's a beautiful piece.
Yeah.
And then we've been getting asked about She Sakura, our last She book. So we're offering a limited edition, only 50 of them, of the She Sakura hardbound edition, because I think I only have 100 left.
Oh, okay.
So it's
Okay.
not a bad problem to have.
No.
But yeah, that's a 72-page hardcover. It's only $50.
Mhm.
And it's
Get the 2 together.
yeah,
Yeah.
get those things together. Then there's a She remark print where I do it's a black and white. I'm sorry, it's the cover to Senryaku, but it's blacked out. The background is blacked out with a circle where I actually draw a colored penciled, and with watercolor little She drawing inside each one. There's
Nice.
only 25 of those available.
Yeah, that's a lot of work.
And that's $50 too. And my headshots, which it's pretty much a headshot, a little bit smaller. My
Mhm.
headshots are $100.
Right.
So get this, you get a half price, and then you get a limited edition print where there's only 25 of them made.
Outstanding.
Yep. Then of course the Omnibus is again available for $60, 240 pages, hardcover, oversized. But it's a premiere edition because you're only going to be able to get it for this campaign.
Mhm.
Because you will get the dust jacket, you will get the sewn in bookmark too, the satin bookmark. And
Oh,
for
so
60
this one
bucks
does
for a
come with
$100
the
book,
dust jacket?
the dust jacket is going to be our next stretch goal, which I'm sure we'll hit. If we're this high at this point, and also for those out there, we also do Kickstarter. So our Kickstarter actually launches today, which is June 8th, Thursday, June 8th. Our Kickstarter launches today. And what I do with that is I have a no fan left behind campaign strategy, because we've learned in our case that we have backers that specifically back on Kickstarter, and the same on Indiegogo. Our last She campaign, we had on Kickstarter, we had 941 backers on Kickstarter. So that's 900, and we've done this. I've done Indiegogo exclusives, but there are still people that whether for one reason or another, most of them is that they're longtime backers, longtime crowdfunded backers, and they
Mhm.
just like Kickstarter. They don't want to do another. They don't want to go to another, fill out all that paperwork and stuff. And so that's a big chunk of it. So our Kickstarter backers and our Indiegogo backers will assist each other. So when Indiegogo sells, so Indiegogo say hits a $5,000 stretch goal mark, the Kickstarter backers get it, and vice
Mhm.
versa.
Right.
So whatever the Indiegogo backers do, the Kickstarter backers benefit, and vice versa.
Excellent.
They're all in this together. Everyone deserves a little Billy Tucci, if you know what I'm saying, Graham Nolan.
Yes, I
Yeah,
do.
so that. And again, now we have the She Omnibus, the Senryaku Omnibus plus the Ashcan for our next book. It's only $75. Again, you're saving money on that with a nice little bundle, and you'll get our newest Indiegogo, crowdfunded, omnibus edition plus the limited edition ash can for my next for the next book, which is She Gatecrasher, which launches. We're going to launch that in Indiegogo at the end of August. Boom!
Nice.
So I'm happy because this book right now, I'm working on the omnibus. You know what's holding me up with the omnibus, buddy?
What?
Getting friggin' bios from all the contributors.
Oh, okay.
And now I'm writing bios on them. So I'm Dan Jurgen sent me one, Jimmy sent me his, but that Jim Lee, he's not returning my calls.
Yeah.
I'm gonna have to make a Jim Lee bio, and you know what? I think I might have to make Jim Lee's bio like his parents put him in a rocket, sent him, light years away to this planet called Earth, where it's red sun. I should just I'll start using superhero.
Yeah. He was bit by a radioactive spider, and
Mark Silvestri. When he was a teenager, was bitten by a radioactive spider, which gave him the ability.
Yeah.
How funny would that?
And made him really tall.
Yeah, made him really tall. So that's what I'm working on now. So in between promoting a campaign, fulfilling Zombie Sama, which we're doing now, and drawing the ash can, and then streaming, man, we're always busy.
Oh, I know.
It is, right? But if it was easy, everyone would do it, right?
It's true.
I mean,
the beauty is you can put the time into the work, because I was just saying recently that I finished a double-page splash for Ghost of Matakumbiki. It took me 3.5 days to do this thing. I could never do that. Take 3.5 days to do if I was working in periodicals, from Marvel or DC. I couldn't put that kind of time and effort into a page, but I wanted it to look perfect and I wanted it to look right. And man, it came out great.
Well, and the thing is that our backers deserve it. They deserve that. We deserve to give our backers our very best, because without them, we wouldn't be anywhere. We wouldn't be here.
Yeah, and they're willing to wait. If it runs a little late, as long as you let them know ahead of time that hey, this is running late, but it's worth the wait, because we're not skimping on anything.
Right. And the thing is, and they know that you can do a double page spread a day. It wouldn't be a third as good as if you spent 3 days on it.
Yeah.
But this is also our stab at immortality. This is our IPs. And we've both gone through this before, that the thing with, if it was Kirby that said comics will break your heart, Darwin Cook had said Marvel and DC will break your heart, because we've had so much invested emotionally into these characters since we were children, and then working on them, that you have these great ideas and you go to them with something that's groundbreaking or something that would be a big seller. And for one reason or another, they say no, literally letting you know that you do not own these. These are not your characters. These are DC's characters. These are Marvel's characters.
I just realized I don't think I think we were both on the screen. I don't think.
Yeah, we were on the screen.
But it wasn't showing. You should have told me, you dummy.
Oh, I didn't know. I thought you were doing something else in post.
No.
Oh, shit.
So we were talking about all this stuff and we didn't get to see it. So now that we're back up there,
we're back up.
We're going to scroll back. I mean, the perk levels are the perk levels, and Billy basically described them. But let's go over the large size stuff here. So that people can see, like, here we go. Here's a Jim Lee piece.
That's a detail of Jim Lee's contribution to it. I was real fortunate, Graham, to become friends with so many of the big shots, of all these legends. So I wonder why you and I never palled around in 94, 95.
I didn't do a lot of shows,
You didn't, or you did?
Did not.
Okay, yeah, because I did. Because, I was hustling. I'm trying to get my name out there, get the books out there. And so I got to meet, Jim. I got to meet Jim. I got to meet Sylvester at dinners. Like, oh, we're going to dinners. Rob Liefeld's going to come. I'm like, oh, cool. Tom McFarlane's going to be there. And I think, Graham, I became friends with them all because I never asked them for anything.
Yeah.
I didn't need anything from them. We hung out like peers in a way, because she took off. And I don't know how many people know this, but when She #1 came out, it was an overnight success. And I love referring to 4 years of my life, redrawing things, rewriting things, throwing stuff out, changing things up, changing storylines up, starving. You become an overnight success after 4 years of that. So I think they respected me as someone who was an equal, because here I was, this guy coming out of nowhere and doing a full color independent comic that the fans seem to like.
Mhm. Mhm.
And that's opened that relationship for me to ask people. And Jim was the first person I asked.
Mhm.
And he's like, "Absolutely." And it was, it was so great. And what I look at is a year before this, before I asked Jim Lee to do this, it was February 1995 when I asked Jim to contribute to this, when Gary Cohn and I first came up with with the Senryaku concept. In February of 1994, 1 year earlier, this is before she came out. This is a month before she came out. Graham, I was dead broke. I had nothing. I was 6 months behind in my rent. Um, I was just a kid with no dollars and a dream, but I
Mhm.
was forging forward to get this book, to produce this book, because I just felt there was something special about it.
Mhm.
Um, we had been rejected by so many other publishers, one of which is my buddy Adam Post, who turned she down when he had Triumphant Comics. And I thank him for it all the time, and we bust each other's balls over it. But Adam was like, "Yeah, sorry, Billy, we're gonna have to pass on this because girl books just don't sell." So I'm like, "Okay," and that was the best thing ever happened to me, because I'm like, "Well,
Yeah.
shit, I guess I better publish it myself." And I went to the library and I spoke to comic book retailers. Where do you get your comics from? And I ended up publishing it before. But what's so magical about this book is that, again, a year before this book started being produced, I had nothing. I had nothing. And now here I was a year later, less than a year later, asking Frank Frazetta to do a cover for me and him saying yes.
Yeah, that's very cool.
It was just, and that's
Yeah.
why I love comics and the comics community. And, today it's like that. CG's like that. The
Yeah.
CG community's like this. All of us creators are like that. We all help each other out. We all, want each other to succeed. If time willing, if we get asked to do a cover, if we got the time, hey, heck yeah, I'd love to do a cover. If,
Mhm.
and that's how it was back then. I got Joe Jusko to do a piece. If you look, Adam Hughes,
This piece here,
yeah,
I just love this because
Jay
this is
Lee,
a great horror here,
yeah,
horror piece by Jay
right,
Lee.
yep. And what
Freaking
a
love that.
maestro! And look at it, he's using airbrushing and inks
Mhm.
and wash, and then
Yeah.
of course, so you'll have that double page spread of Jay Lee's original art that's never been seen before, and then you flip the page and you'll see the full color art of Jay Lee's piece
Mhm.
without the text encumbering, and see that full piece, because you look at the Jay Lee, and here's Jay's. It's centerfold the whole book. This is how it was printed the first time. Now all this stuff is gone that Jay
Right.
did. All of this, and that's just the way it was back then. That's just the way we did it. All that stuff is missing, and now everyone will be able to see it
Nice.
and read a great story.
Oh, Tashira?
And
Mark
Shara's too.
Tashira?
Yep, Texas piece too.
Yeah, that's great.
Again, another piece that's unencumbered by the prints. There's my remark. Again, my
Yep.
headshots. When I do a
Yep.
headshot is $100. Here you
This
get a
is the stuff
50.
you didn't see before, folks, when,
Yeah,
I didn't have it on the screen.
right, right. And there's a T-shirt Debbie's
Yeah.
T-shirt, the cool challenge coins. I want to talk to you because I love your full color challenge coin.
Yeah.
So that's
The
something we got
Ghost
to
of
talk.
Metakumba Key challenge coin. Yeah.
Yep, I got to talk to you about that, because next year is she's 30th anniversary, so I think that would
Mhm.
be really cool.
Nice. All
And
right. So, Billy,
yeah,
tell everybody who doesn't know about who might be tuning in and looking to invest into a creator-owned project, why they should back your book.
thank you. Well, she is a 3-time Eisner Award loser. um, but it's literally a modern day samurai story. Anna is a direct descendant of the Sohai, which were the warrior monks of medieval Japan, who really weren't monks at all. They were just samurai ordained as priests to build the armies of the temples. And that was 500 years ago that they were actually slaughtered. Then they went into the shadows and created the shadow war against the samurai, um and also the yakuza now. But now, instead of these battles that took place in the plains beneath Mount Fuji, they now take place in the boardrooms, in business, in entertainment, in the arts. You know, so
Wait, isn't that where Godzilla and Rodan fought Ghidorah
yes,
in the shadow of Mount Fuji
yes,
and
these
destroy
are
all monsters?
yes, these are even deeper in the shit. Destroyer monsters going on. Heck yeah, man. Um, so these so now this is carried over, and Anna, my character Anna Ishikawa, she is a soldier drafted into this war that she is not prepared to fight at all. She's a Christian as well, and so she's completely conflicted by the duality of her life. And this is basically her story. She loses, she's imperfect, she's not impervious. She's not has no superpowers whatsoever, and it's just a story of a woman warrior. That's what it's about. And again, we've lost a couple Eisners, but it's just being nominated. Is right. It's just a game. Just a
Oh, kid. I'd rather have backers than awards.
yes, 100%, buddy.
Yeah.
And through through these backers, we've sold, before that in comic shops, we've sold over 3 million comics, printed in 4 languages or 5 languages.
Mm-hmm.
And I just love this she resurrection, thanks to the fans out there that and you went through this right with Joe Frankenstein. You did it with Monster Island.
Mm-hmm.
There's all this work I put into it. Are the people going to be there for Joe Frankenstein? You think they'll come back?
Mm-hmm.
And hot damn, they do.
Oh yeah.
And it's wonderful.
Yep.
And again, this is something that is a true piece of me. Everything I own is because of she, and because of you guys out there. And give it a whirl. I mean,
Yep.
we've gotten great reviews in New York Times called "She, the Rare Super Woman in a World of Supermen." We've gotten what was it? If I look at the rambles.net called it, Senryaku is a masterpiece.
Mm-hmm.
So we've gotten some great reviews on the book. Again, I think it was nominated for an Eisner for best collected edition. And
aside from all of that,
yeah.
it's really important for backers to understand that when you back a Crusade Comics book, you can guarantee it's going to arrive when they tell you it is, and that's really important when you're. I know many people have had some bad. What's the word I'm looking for? Bad experiences with some crowdfunding. But what I'm trying to do on the show is showcase books and campaigns that I think are worthy, that are really good. They meet professional levels. And in Billy's case, he's fulfilled, dozens of these things. So
yeah, not dozens. Well, we fulfilled. Hey, puppy, this is our 8th Indiegogo.
Okay, 8th.
So
Indiegogo.
we've got a true try. There's my puppy. Look.
Oh my goodness.
Hello, baby. Hello.
And back it because he has a puppy.
Yeah, and Asha needs to eat. Ash, right on.
Yeah.
Come here, puppy. Come here.
You don't want that
So
dog
big.
to starve.
So big. Look at it. Hello.
If you don't back this project, that dog's gonna starve. So you get on it, folks.
All right, kid, go downstairs. That's it. Kid, sit.
He's a camera hog.
Yes, down. Oh, no, it's not down.
Yeah. Great signal there, Billy.
Yeah, give me kid. All right, down. Anyway, all right.
Okay.
Oil, right?
Well, we're wrapping it up here.
Yep.
Folks, please.
But yes, and
go out and back this project.
No, we will. Yeah, please back our project. Again, we have delivered. We're fulfilling our 7th Indiegogo. So all told, this is our 16th crowdfunded campaign. And we fulfilled all of them, or in the midst of fulfilling, like the Zombie Sama book.
Right.
And that's our aim is because we know you guys, we'd be nothing without you guys. And we love the idea that you're the bottom line and you hold us accountable.
And tune into Billy's show tonight. It's I'm not sure when this thing is actually going up.
Yeah,
but,
well, we are going with our launch party tonight. With this time, it's Thursday, June 7th on the Pop XP YouTube.
Okay. Right.
It's going to be me and Deb, and we're going to have Dan Jurgens on and Sarah Frazetta, and I think Jimmy Palmiotti and Amanda Connor are going to join us too. And I want to put the invite to the Bros as well, and anyone else who wants to come on. And this is for the Kickstarter launch. But we're going to talk Kickstarter. We're going to talk the benefits of doing both campaigns or either or. And so we're going to have a lively conversation, having some fun, and I might have some scotch.
Ah, there we go. And he wouldn't look down on you if you poured a scotch while watching his show either. So,
That I would not. I would not.
uh,
Well,
so
my
Billy,
brother.
I want to thank you for coming on, buddy,
Yep.
and telling people about your great new project. And
Thank you.
I encourage everybody out there to go and back a real campaign stud, Billy Tucci. And thanks again, and we'll see you on the next show.
Thank you all. Thanks,
Thanks,
Graham.
everybody. Bye bye.